very generic. This is episode 2. Welcome to the numbers. This is Media Men Online. I'm Dan. This is Isaiah.
Hello, hello.
And once again, just like last week, we're going to run through the top 5 weekend box office, this time for the week of November 11th to November 14th. Coming in at number 5 and still in the top 5 is Smile, the previous ranking of 4th. This is its 7th week in box office, and typically horror movies do not last this long because as we go through this top 5, Smile came out after Halloween ends and it has more staying power. So, and Halloween has been around since the 70s. So the box office gross for the weekend is 2.3 million and last week's gross of 3.9 million. So it's still holding pretty strong. Man,
Yeah.
I did not really expect it when this came out. Yeah, this is hitting rare territory here because there's not. I'm looking back at most of these horror movies and they barely, even something as great as The Black Phone is barely scraping 100 million. So
yeah,
we'll keep an eye on this one and maybe with, I mean, The Menu coming up this week might knock it out, but we'll see.
Number 4, really surprising to see for me. Lyle Crocodile. Its previous ranking was 6th. It's been out for 6 weeks. Its weekend gross was 3,200,624, and its last week's gross was about 3.4 million. So it had almost zero drop. But everything I've heard about this movie is it's not that good. But somehow, like it's sticking around the same amount of money. So sales in general for all the movies except for when we see our number 1, dropped a bunch. But this one stayed the same, which is why it found its way into the 4th slot here.
It's the first time that it's been in the top 5 since the weekend of October 21st.
Yeah.
Which is really strange, especially with the addition of Black Panther, but we'll get to that. So number 3, again, Ticket to Paradise, last week number 2. This is its 4th week. And it's steadily declining, but not as rapidly as I thought it would. A weekend gross of 5.9 million and last week 8.5. So it's having a pretty standard drop for, especially for something, a genre such as this. Maybe people are getting, I don't want to say they're getting sick of the other styles of movies, but maybe people were kind of longing for something like this. The people who really like the rom-coms and that kind of thing. And love George Clooney and Julia Roberts. Like, I mean, that's 2 stars that could pretty much sell almost any movie except for Batman Forever.
Coming in at number 2, finally dethroned, is Black Adam. Its previous ranking was 1st. It's been out for 4 weeks, and I believe this is the first week it's been out that it hasn't been first. Its box office gross was about $8 million, and last week was 18 million. So it kind of dived quite a bit, and I'm pretty sure it's because the market for a superhero movie kind of shifted to a different movie.
Yeah. 2 days ago on youtube.com/@mediamen, the Black Adam review has dropped. So go and look at that one. Every Wednesday at noon, new movie review, except coming soon, we're going to have some anime in there too. And number 1, Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Is this any surprise? $181 million box office gross. To this point, Black Panther in its first weekend has made more than Black Adam in its entire 4 weeks domestically combined. You got to kind of expect it at this point. An overhyped movie franchise such as Black Panther with an overhyped Marvel Cinematic Universe. For comparison, Thor Love and Thunder made $144 million worldwide the first weekend. It's just, the movies are just not great, to say the least, for November 18th, meaning today. So The Menu is in theaters, and typically you start off here, but I cannot read that other one with a straight face, so I'm going to start off. It's a horror thriller comedy, and I'm glad they threw comedy in here because there are some comedic moments, but it looks like a super weird, eccentric movie maybe, but the synopsis is A young couple travels to a remote island to eat at an exclusive restaurant where the chef has prepared a lavish menu with some shocking surprises, and starred by Anya Taylor-Joy, who's in pretty much everything these days, and Ray
Yeah.
Fiennes, who is awesome.
Yeah, Nicholas Hoult. I think that's his name. He's like plays the
The
Beast in
boyfriend
the.
or
Yeah, he plays Beast in the like X-Men movies, like
the reboot.
future. Yeah, like the younger cast.
Yeah.
He's like a pretty great actor. It's just he doesn't. I first saw this trailer and I thought it was the weirdest trailer ever. But then the more I thought about it, it's just like I have no idea what this movie's actually about or what's like. I don't really know what's going on. I'm trying to remain blissfully aware and not read up anything because it's just like, is there actually like life and death stuff on the line, or is it kind of like this metaphor type of thing, or like I don't really know, and I don't want to know because that's kind of is what is making me more and more interested. Is I don't know what I'm going to get out of it.
No, and
So
that's the fun of it. Everything seems super mysterious, and there's a point where Anya Taylor-Joy is talking to Ray Fiennes, and he's trying to figure out whose side she's on. You're like, what the hell does that
oh
mean? But
yeah,
we'll
um
find out. Actually, Isaiah and I are going to a premiere tonight for that, so
yeah,
it'd be pretty exciting.
I'm
On the
looking
other
forward to
hand,
it.
something that's not exciting.
Well, yeah, we got a movie called She Said. It's a drama, and the
Unfortunately,
synopsis
it's not a
is
comedy. That's what she said. You know, they could do a whole movie about that. But anyways,
The New York Times reporters Megan Twowy and Jodi Cantor break one of the most important stories of a generation. A story that helped launch the Me Too movement and shattered decades of silence around the subject of sexual assault in Hollywood.
all right, bones and all. So this is a limited release in theaters, limited theatrical release, I should say. It's a drama horror romance, and the synopsis is Marin, a young woman, learns how to survive on the margins of society. Now, that doesn't tell much of the story, so I watched
No.
trailer number one for this one, and it looks like possibly werewolves or serial killers or something. The first trailer, if you go on YouTube and search it, it specifically says trailer number one, is super vague, and I think that plays up to this movie
Yep.
because it's just like, what in the hell is going on? And I do like that.
I watched the trailer and I was like, what the heck
Yes,
did I just watch?
hundred
I was
percent.
like, I was not expecting that at all. Like, yeah, you watch the trailer because I read that synopsis and it's just like, okay, it seems like
Ugh.
some sort of drama
Yeah,
type of thing. And then
yeah.
you watch the trailer and like he slit somebody's throat. I was like, what the? This I was not expecting this. And it's also Timothy. I cannot pronounce his last name. It's like
Timothy Chalamet or something like that.
Chalamet, who from the Dune movie, where I
Yeah.
think that was his like breakout role too, was Dune. Next up we have Scrooge, A Christmas Carol, only on Netflix. It is an animation adventure comedy, a supernatural time traveling musical adaptation of Charles Dickens' cult Christmas story. Basically, the same movie you get every year.
Yeah.
Except this one's a musical, which is it feels kind of weird talking about this after Spirited, the Ryan Reynolds musical they just did based off of A Christmas Carol. I would rather go watch The Muppets Christmas Carol any day over whatever I was seeing in that trailer.
Yeah, and it's just kind of it's a very basic. I mean, the animation's updated. It looks kind of like Pixar-esque. Not exactly
Not even.
Pixar, but it's like that
It looks like
3D
DreamWorks
modeling.
or something.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. It's whatever.
This looks like a super hard pass for me. Just even the animation didn't really look unique at all. It looked like, your standard 3D animated story type of thing.
Next up, we have Lamborghini, The Man Behind the Legend, which is a limited theatrical release, but it will be a Netflix exclusive on streaming. So unless it comes to our theater, I won't be watching this. So it's a biography about the life of Ferruccio Lamborghini, the founder of Lamborghini. Now, have you ever seen the movie Ford versus Ferrari?
I have not. I've heard quite good things about it.
Oh, it was a good movie, but this looks
Yeah.
like Ford versus Ferrari Part 2.
Oh,
It's
really?
the story of the man who created Lamborghini, and essentially he's going up against the creator of Ferrari, who's being a real dick to him in the trailer. But do you like
It's strange.
cars? Do you
I'm not a
like how
big.
cars sound? Then
I'm not.
you'll like this movie. Also, go out and watch Ford versus Ferrari. It's not a biopic or
Yeah.
a biography or a documentary. It's just a straight up movie. Just go watch it. It's really good.
Speaking of biopics, though, we have Fisherman's Friends, one and all. which is actually a sequel to a movie that came out in like 2019 called I think it's just called Fisherman's Friends. It's a comedy drama music. They just said music. I'm not sure if it's going to be a musical or just it's about a music group.
It's not a musical. It's about a group
Okay,
performing
that's a
music.
weird genre to put in.
Yeah.
But after the highs of performing on the pyramid stage at, pardon my pronunciation of this, but Glastonbury, the group struggle with their second album. During a divisive tour of South Australia, they will trace their ancestors, embrace a new community, and discover their musical DNA.
The Last Manhunt, which is a Western. This is my punishment for reading the menu. In 1909, amidst the dying Old West, Willie Boy, a long distance desert runner by Shemehuvi tradition, falls in love with a young native beauty, Carlotta. Carlotta's father is
The
Jesus
shaman.
Christ, is a shaman, and local tribal leader refuses to let the young couple be together. In a fatal confrontation, Carlotta's father falls dead to an accidental gunshot, and the young lovers flee to the sun-enslaved Mojave Desert. The local sheriff leads. This is just telling the story of the movie. It's
I
not really a
know.
synopsis, so I'm going
Thanks,
to stop it
IMDb.
there. So,
Yeah.
Khal Drogo is in this movie, and
Yeah,
it's an
Jason
old
Momoa.
Western.
But yeah, next we have The Inspection. Its genre is drama. Synopsis: a young gay black man, rejected by his mother and with few options for his future, decides to join the Marines, doing whatever it takes to succeed in a system that would cast him aside. Another based on a true story thing where it's just like the trailer. Oh my gosh, this trailer! It was like doing once again just doing all the stuff that Weird made fun of, where it's like they're cutting to like these big moments and saying big things and dramatic music playing, and it's like what might make for an interesting story, or at least in my opinion, it's just like
A young gay black man does not tell me a story. Like it, gay and black don't tell me the story. Like the fact that they put that in the
yeah,
synopsis
I know.
tells me that
That's
it's a huge part of the story,
well,
which turns me off immediately. If they said a young man rejected by his mother and few options for his future decided to join the Marines, okay, now you have my attention. But the fact that you have to put sexuality and race, two things that I don't base my movie enjoyment on, in the
yeah,
synopsis, I'm out.
you just brought like you saying that just put the words into my mouth that I was trying to say, where it's just like when I watched the trailer, I got exactly what you're saying, where it's just like a young man is struggling to do this type of stuff. Where it's
Yeah.
just like that's kind of what I saw, and that's why like what I was trying to say is the trailer itself kind of wasn't that great because it's the whole weird like they make fun of that type of stuff that they were doing, but I didn't get any like preachiness from the trailer itself, which is why it's just like I don't think it's going to do that, but that synopsis is super keyword heavy, where it's just
Yep.
like I don't know the trailer for the movie outside of just my issues with biopics in general, it looked fine. But yeah, that synopsis was super. I thought that when I was watching it, it's just like, man, is that synopsis very keyword heavy when the trailer itself doesn't, and the movie itself, based on the trailer, doesn't seem like it's going to be that at all. It's just
Yeah.
about this person's struggle and trying to deal with these things, and that's why
Yep.
it's just like, I don't know. The synopsis sucked.
Yeah. Next up, we have There There, which is a comedy romance. A lover's doubt in the cold light of morning leads a chain of uneasy intimacies, counselors, disruptors, peacemakers, and fire starters, everyone looking to have a little faith rewarded. When I watched the trailer, it looked like it was a collection of short stories, but the synopsis tells me otherwise.
I don't know. It looked like something that somebody filmed during quarantine. I don't know. Like everybody was in their own houses alone. I had no idea what I was watching with that trailer, except that Schwartzman. Crap, what's his first name? Jason Schwartzman's in
Jason.
it. But I was like, besides that, I guess that's where my brain went to, because besides that, I was like, I have no idea what the heck this. Up next, we got Taurus. It's a biography drama music, another music genre. That's not musical. The synopsis is that it follows the last days of a rising but problematic musician. Now, this movie, unlike other biopics, actually looks interesting because I don't think it's actually based on a true story. The guy looks like Machine Gun Kelly, and I guess that Machine Gun Kelly does the music for it, but I don't think he's actually playing a character named Machine Gun Kelly in the movie. And it's actually funny because Megan Fox is in the movie. She wasn't in the trailer at all, I don't think, but she was the first one on IMDb's cast list. She wasn't even in the trailer cast list, but
When
I
the
was like,
trailer started, I thought it was going to be about Kurt Cobain. It's the way it
really?
looked, the way what everything was doing.
See, when I saw him
So.
before, I saw that it said that before we got to the part where it said Machine Gun Kelly's music, I was like, this guy looks like a Machine Gun Kelly ripoff. But I think it was intentional because it seems like he's helping make the movie. So like that might be interesting because it's not actually based on a true story as well as much as I can see. It's maybe very similar along to the Steven Spielberg movie that's coming out, where it's just like it's a fake story, but implementing the ideas and experiences that the artist had.
It is starred by Machine Gun Kelly.
So, oh wait, like they actually are
him,
playing
yeah.
as Machine Gun Kelly?
No, that the character is not Machine Gun Kelly. The actual
actor
is.
It is.
Yeah.
So because the name for him is like, or Coulson Baker, is that actually Machine Gun Kelly's real name?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, see that's why I didn't recognize. I saw Coulson Baker does really well in this movie, and I was like, I have no idea who that Coulson Baker is, but he looks a lot like Machine Gun Kelly. All right, I feel less stupid now. Well, actually, no, I feel equally stupid. Just the balance shifted a little bit.
The last up on our list is EO, which is a drama. And based on the synopsis, I totally thought this was animated, but follows a donkey who encounters good and bad people, experiences joy and pain, exploring a vision of modern Europe through his eyes. In the trailer, it shows the donkey being separated from like his owner, which the owners sell him, but the child of the owners was like super close to him, and the donkey's like shedding a tear. It's like, whoa, this is gonna be super dark, and the whole thing seems super dark. It's just a donkey wishing he could be out running with the horses. Then it was not what I expected.
So when I watched this trailer, it reminded me of this other movie. I can't remember the name of it at the moment, but it's about the entire plot of the movie is a old man and it was actually based on a true story, but one of the more interesting ones. An old man's like brother gets diagnosed with cancer, and he wants to see him last time before he dies. He doesn't own a car. He only has a tractor. So he's traveling like miles and miles and miles, like many, many days on his little dinky tractor trailer to get to his brother's house. And it's like the movie itself isn't like your typical movie where it has like a plot that follows from one thing to the next. It's just about like the emotional journey.
Yeah.
So there's no plot really to experience in the movie. It's just about kind of like the emotions you feel, especially when you get to that end. And that's the type of movie I kind of got from this, where it feels like, the donkey's going on a journey. There's not really going to be a plot so much as you're going to get to the end and you're going to feel this emotion based off of what, he's gone through to get to where he is or something. So I thought that was like a little bit of a comparison, because that's instantly what I thought. And it felt like more of an artsy film too. When I watched that.
Based on the synopsis, it sounds really stupid, but do yourself a favor out there and watch the trailer, because it's much more interesting based on the trailer versus the synopsis. But
so the name of the movie with the guy who rides the tractor, it's called The Straight Story. It's actually a David Lynch movie. I completely forgot. But it will be like, you have to really appreciate like the art of the filmmaking itself as well to really enjoy the movie. And if you don't really think you can get into that type of thing, or just like get into the emotions of it, it's just to be like frankly honest, you probably won't get into the movie itself.
Yeah, do yourself a favor, check out the trailer called EO. I had to type EO 2022 in order to find our EO trailer. You'll find it. But that's going to do it for us for this week. We're going to see The Menu. Catch us on Wednesday, youtube.com/@mediamen for The Menu review. We will catch you guys then. With that, please share with a friend. Let us know if you like the top 5 weekend box office, that kind of thing. And we'll catch you guys later.
Peace.